Hello, it's Diana Marchand from dianamarchand.com. And I thought I would do this quick video. Well, there's going to be two parts. Well, it's going to be the same thing. But first of all, what I'm doing is making sauerkraut. And I have a big bag that I cut up last night of cabbage. Huge. It was one big, huge cabbage. And it was just too late to do it last night. And what I have here is I'm actually using the inside of a crock pot. I find this works really good. It's ceramic. And it's a big thing. So this is how easy sauerkraut is. It is so easy to make, so easy. You can add different things to it like carrots, ginger, anything you kind of want to add to it, some veggies or something. But what we're going to do is just plain old sauerkraut. What you need is just your cabbage. So this is a big cabbage I got from the farmer's market. And I hand chopped it. You can use a food processor or just hand chop it into, to show you. Or you can shred it, right, with the shredder. And then some Himalayan salt or this is Himalayan pink salt. It's in here. It's quite fine. I buy it in bulk and then I just put it in containers. That is really all you need. And a big, huge glass bowl. So you want really something glass or ceramic or something. So now it is just putting the cabbage into this. And I'm just going to do a couple layers. So we're going to put... I have like half of this full almost or something. And then I'm going to put a bit of salt in it. And then just toss a bit and massage. Now, I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to do layers like some cabbage and then a little bit more salt, then cabbage and salt. Do not add too much salt to begin with. I have not measured it. But what you want it to be like is you're going to massage the cabbage now. And when you take a taste of the cabbage with the salt, you want it to taste like salty French fries or potato chips. So it's kind of weird because you don't want too much salt, yet you need enough salt. You can't have it with it, right? So you need enough salt. So it's just kind of playing around with it. And the more batches you make, you will really get to know how much salt to put on. So maybe I'll measure my next one. But then I don't know how much cabbage I have here, right? So now I'm putting in some more cabbage and then some more salt. I bet it's about a teaspoon of salt, maybe a full teaspoon of salt. So far that's 2 teaspoons, right, in the amount I put in. And now you're going to massage it. And what happens is it'll start to break it down and it'll start to get a little watery and the cabbage will start to shrink. And that's what you want. Right? You want the cabbage to begin to break down, a bit of water, to the water to come out, and you want it to start to shrink a bit. So I'm just testing the amount of salt I have on it now. Oh, that was a big amount. So I'm just massaging what I have, then I'm going to just keep doing this more layer upon layer upon layer. When I fill this crock up with the salt and the cabbage, as it sits, it's going to shrink a lot. And then I can even put more in on top if I want. That probably wasn't a teaspoon. So now you can see that the crock is quite full. So what I'm going to do is just really take my time and massage the salt in until I notice that this is starting to really shrink up a bit. Then I'm going to add a little more. Hi, okay, what I've done is I've massaged it really well. And then I packed it down with my fist. And it's getting really wet. And there you go. You see how it's like not near the top right now. So it's really shrunk down and it's going to shrink even more. So all this is that the liquid is coming out of it. And so now I look at it, it looks quite wet in here. I think you can see. And I just pressed it down. Now what you want to do is compress it even more. So I've got a plate. I'm just going to put that, and this plate fits perfectly in there like that. And then something heavy, this could be full of rocks or something too, to place on top. And that way you have consistent pressure on it. And I'm gonna let this sit. You can let it sit for about 2 hours. You know, if you kind of don't have much time, maybe about an hour and a half. And then we are going to put this sauerkraut into jars, and I'll show you how I do that. So this is all it is. It's just compressing that. Now you can use various size jars. I have the big 1 quart here. I have a wide mouth. I like using these, much easier to put it in. Smaller jar, and then again, here's more of a narrow mouth, smaller jar. So depends on how much how much cabbage you have here. I don't have really that much, and that was one huge cabbage. And so it's actually not gonna make very much sauerkraut. So you can see if you wanna make like a lot of jars of sauerkraut, you're gonna need a lot of cabbage. Okay, I'm back, and the sauerkraut has sat for a couple hours, and I just mixed it up now. Show you, but so it's like shrunk down quite a bit, and now there's quite a lot of water content in here, which is really good. That's what you want. So it pulls the moisture from the cabbage. Now what you're going to do, it is time to put it into jars. I like using the smaller jars because I just think it's easier to take the sauerkraut out of a smaller jar than a big huge jar. Okay, now one thing, I have a Vitamix, so this plunger is fantastic for plunging the sauerkraut into the jar. If you don't have one, I'm not sure what to do. Like maybe try out a wooden spoon or something. There's things you can buy. So you can buy equipment to make sauerkraut. You can buy lots of it too. There's a lot of various types of big bowls and crocks and plungy things, whatever you call them. But I like to keep it simple. So this is all you have to do. So this sat for a couple hours, right? Then we're just gonna put it into the jar. So you start putting some in. It's quite messy, it gets all over. Usually I have a cutting board underneath here. So when you get some in the jar, you're just gonna take your plunger thingy and just pack it down. You wanna pack it down. Not like, you don't need to put tons of weight on it, okay? You just wanna put some pressure on it. So you see, there's only that much in this jar now. So as you can see, you keep putting the kraut in, well, the cabbage, plunging it. You're gonna have a lot of cabbage in one small jar. It's amazing how much cabbage it takes to make sauerkraut, a jar of sauerkraut. Next time you go to buy it, you'll know. And if you choose to buy any at the store, I really wouldn't, but you need to look at the real natural ones. Read the labels, because I can tell you that some are made with vinegars, some have other junk in them. There's no need to have them in at all. You want the homemade or the natural stuff with just salt. And I use, like I say, Himalayan salt, so I'm using a good salt too. I'm not using the bad salt for you. And I don't know if you can see, but the moisture comes, oh, you can't really see. And the water starts to kind of come up on top, and that's what you want with the sauerkraut. So I'm just continually putting it into the jar. Now it's full now, but I gotta pack it down, so watch this. Now I'm starting to see the water start to come up a little bit, which is great. That's what you want. So you can see it was full, and now we still have that much. So I'm gonna add just a bit more. You wanna leave, because this is gonna kind of swell. As it ferments, it's gonna swell. And gases are gonna build up in this, and it'll kind of pop the lid a little bit if it's too full. And if it's too full, when you go to open it after 5 days or 6 days or 7 days, it'll just kind of come oozing out, and it'll make a big mess on your counter. So you don't want it you don't want it like filled right to the top and packed tightly. So we're packing it. And we're gonna get it nice and clean, all the pieces. So I'm now a little bit more, guys. Now this one is great because there's a bit of water coming up on top. Okay, there we go. So that's about how full I'm gonna make this. And then I just screw on the lid. I like putting it in a darker place. Try to have a cooler place. When it's 30 degrees outside, it's gonna be probably too hot. So you want not cool, but a cooler place, somewhere in the basement or something, a darker cupboard. And I like it after 5 days, nice and mild. But if you like stronger sauerkraut, leave it for more days. That way it will get stronger and stronger. Once it's you can open it and test it, and then once it's where you like it, put it in the fridge and store it in the fridge as you're eating it once you've opened it, okay? That is how to make it super fast and easy, right? Totally easy. Make sure you're part of my Facebook community, Women Creating Healthy Lives, because that's where I share a lot of this information and more. Recipe ideas, meal ideas, tips, motivation, and inspiration for living healthy and happy. And of course, I do programs, and you can find those on DianaMarchand.com. Subscribe to my YouTube, Diana Marchand. Enjoy making your sauerkraut. Take care. Bye.